Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second round of the Only Hands GR86 series here in association with the Tanso Racing Group. It's time for Homestead Miami Speedway for our second round of our championship after last week's opener at the Watkins Glen Boot Circuit. Always, I find, a great circuit for going racing in these cars. This is another circuit that drivers are going to have that little bit of experience with, but it is going to race very, very differently. It's myself, Ewan Leary, and Jim Cunningham alongside me for this round of the championship. Good to be here, Jim. Apologies for the delay with this broadcast, by the way, but I hope you will enjoy it nevertheless. Even if it is a little bit later than usual. Jim, I don't know if you actually drove this circuit in your early days of iRacing, if you've done much driving around here, but I actually have, surprisingly. It's one of those circuits that you learn generally as a slower class driver when you're learning iRacing for the very first time. We're coming back here now, though, with the GR86s, back to the Homestead Miami road course here, just over 2 miles of this circuit down in Florida.
Yeah, good to be here with you, by the way. And, we're hopefully not horribly late for these guys. But I have done some laps here, obviously oval stuff, but the road course stuff I've done is kind of the opposite of your experience. I did not do any of the early developmental type cars here. I originally came here, my first race here was a GTP car. And I personally did not care for the road course for that car. But after watching, some of the practice for this race, I think that these cars are going to race a lot better here than what my experience was. You know what I mean?
Definitely. That sounds horrible in a GTP.
It was. It was horrible.
Yeah. In a GR86, it is way, way better in a more lower powered car. So looking forward to this one very much. As I mentioned, this is the second round of the championship. So we'll keep an eye on indeed who's doing well and who's up there towards the front in both of our first two rounds so far. But we're just in qualifying at the moment, and the times are coming in thick and fast, in fact. 1:35.8 is the current best time that we've currently got on the board, but still plenty of times yet to come in. In fact, the top six have all got within 1 second of one another, actually, in this qualifying session so far. That still has a few minutes to go within it. This is the first section, though, down at turn 1 and 2, and then even in steeper on the brakes then for the hairpin. It's a difficult section, a lot of elevation change at this little section here by our Roval standards. Anyway, as you now get yourself out of here and onto the back straight and in towards one of the big overtaking opportunities that's going to be present on the infield of this circuit. You can maybe fire down the inside there. But as I say, this is going to be a lot better of a track to drive on with, as I say, much lower powered cars. And again, the feature of the GR86 is, as always, in all these tracks really, slipstream is going to be a key factor. It's going to keep these cars quite nicely close together.
Yeah, I like I said, I just watching the practice stuff before the race. It definitely looks like it's going to race completely different than what my experience was here. So I'm actually kind of excited to see it, because I think it's going to be some good racing. I think you're going to see, several little packs come along. The really fast guys, I think, are still going to stay pretty close to each other. And look at this chromed out, nice looking livery here. And I think you'll have several packs, different speed guys running together, which is always fun. And of course, that's the nature of these cars anyway. So that's why they make make for such a great series, is because they just tend to promote, good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Lee Martin, by the way, in the chrome livery, going across the line and currently on the pole position. Good evening to Sean Atkinson in YouTube chat, ready to watch along here with the first race, obviously coming up in a couple of moments' time. If you've not seen this series before, or indeed you need a reminder of the format, we first of all have a 10-minute lone qualifying session where each driver gets 3 allocated laps to set the best time they possibly can. Incident points at 20 for the 17 for the first race, I believe, and then 20 for the second. But it's 20-minute first race, so incidents shouldn't be a problem, and 25-minute second race, again, shouldn't be too much of a problem in this series, with a 5-minute break in between, a bit of a warm-up session that we'll just chat through about the first race that we're about to see here in a few moments' time. But the important thing, as always, in the GR86 series from the Tanso Racing Group, in whichever form it's taken over the last couple of years, it's been about that second race and how many indeed get reversed in that second race. It's top 12 this season, reverse grid for the second race. So not absolutely everybody all of the time, but on this occasion, we do have 12 who have set times at the moment. And so it's going to be pretty much the whole of the grid who are going to be reversed. That, meanwhile, is Sotero going fastest. That's a very good lap time indeed to take the pole position at the moment. 35.7, just over a tenth clear of the rest of the field.
Yeah, that was a nice little lap. He jumped up there right at the end and snatched that away. And if you look, I mean, you got, what do we got? We got the top 9. Yeah, top 9 guys are within a second of each other. And we have 13. Looks like we're going to have 13 races tonight, and 9 of them are within a second of each other in qualifying. I think that speaks highly for the kind of race action we're going to see tonight.
That's a good sign for the race, certainly. Don't forget, Igor Sotero is a AM driver in this series. The orange numbers on the left-hand side, or the orange dash, I guess, / next to the positional numbers is for the AMs. The yellow is for the pros.
Do you see orange there? We need to
is that not orange?
We need to get you checked for colorblind. I see kind of a reddish pink, or it might be me. My eyes are, let's see here. Hold on, I'm going to pull up a thing here at the top that'll maybe help us out a little bit.
Well, that's pink. Yeah,
it is kind of pinkish. Yeah. Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my eyes. That's entirely possible at my age.
It could be any age in colorblind.
That's true. Yeah, my father was actually colorblind. It's funny we get to talking about that. My dad was colorblind. He was a hot mess when it came to that. All right, so yeah, there we go. We just finished our qualifying here. Let's throw up a grid and see how this thing's going to go tonight.
Let's have a look then. Igor Sotero will start from the front with Lee Martin alongside, just a tenth in behind. Simon McPhee and Cameron Frederick will be on row 2. Michael Dolan and Adrian Hadfield are second and third in the Pro-Am class, next in line with Dan Forster and Connor Pink on row 4. Jake DeGrand and then Daniel Wareham round out the top 10 with John Johnston and Matt Benson at the back end of the field. Not showing a time for Matt Benson, actually. Towards the back end of the field. He will bring up the rear to begin this race, as will Curtis Matthews, who is starting from the back end of the race as well. So effectively, that means one driver, the last of the drivers, is not going to get a benefit from the reverse grid for that second race. That's going to be a big fight down towards the back. Yeah,
that'll be a mess, won't it? There's one guy getting left behind back there. But that's good, though. That's to me, that makes it exciting battling for even at the back of the field, because they're literally battling for the pole position in the race coming up.
Well, nearly all of the drivers are ready to go. Just a couple more to get gridded up here on this not too steep front stretch banking that you have here at Homestead at Miami Speedway. At the road course, of course.
The NASCAR circuit here, though, is widely regarded as one of the better NASCAR tracks. Really provides really good racing. It's great to see that you don't hear a lot about the road course, compared to maybe Charlotte, Roval, or of course Daytona, obviously. I think this is again an interesting circuit, and I think it's perfect for these cars. I just think this is such a great match right here.
And let's see how they get on, as the lights will surely come on at some point. And here we go. The lights are out and we are racing. Finally getting underway, and Sotero with a little bit of a start to be desired there, and immediately moves being made down the inside. A little bit of rubbing on the way down towards turn 1. In fact, absolutely flat out, of course, through turn number 1, at least on the opening lap, before you get down towards turn number 2 and the braking zone, which really starts to rear this circuit up. Here we go in towards the first sector proper, negotiating this little bit of elevation change. Very rare for an oval, or a roval rather, of course, but they all get through there rather nicely. Just a little bit of door handle rubbing on the way towards turn 1. But other than that, a very clean start to the opening race of the evening.
They really did get off to a nice start. Then there was a little door handle rubbing, and they even went 3 wide into turn 1, but they managed to get through it just fine. That was that was a really clean start. I hope that's a sign of the type of racing we're going to get all night tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The draft will be very strong down here and towards turn number 8, this sharp left-handed hairpin down here, and then out onto another long back straight. I don't know which one we can call the back straight proper, but anyway, this is back onto the oval again, out of turn number 8. That's turn 9, that very meaningless bend in the straight there, and then it gets serious again as the high-speed sweepers turn 10, 11 come into play, and then turn 12 as well, which you certainly do have to brake for over there. There you go. Dolan gets close to Sotiro. They're actually battling for the Pro-Am lead at the moment, just in behind Simon McPhee, who got off to the best start of all from 3rd position, raced through into the lead down in towards turn number 1, but certainly is still under pressure here at the end of the opening lap.
Well, I think it's quite indicative of how close the racing is in this league. Is you got Pro-Am drivers that were sprinkled all up in the top of with the pro guys. I mean, there's not. I mean, we had a Pro-Am guy sitting on the pole. I mean, this is great stuff.
A little bit of a look there from Dolan, who's looking to regain some of those places that he lost on the front straight there. I wonder if he did get a slowdown penalty a couple of moments ago as they came through the opening lap of the race, because he did just pull off the side of the circuit and let a few drivers through. Lee Martin very close to a move down at the end of another straight towards turn 6, but no move made there. It's further back where Benson's making some overtakes coming through the field. Benson up to 8th briefly. Curtis Matthews staying alongside. That's 2 drivers actually who have come from the back row of the grid to fight away, even on lap 2, up for 8th place already.
We're talking about chromed out liveries, man. Look at Matt Benson's car, will you? That's a pretty good looking car. Hop back up here at the front and see what's happening.
Sotiro back in the lead again, ahead of Simon McPhee. So this is an exchange of the lead again here. So side by side for 3rd, very nearly between Frederick and Forster on the way through for 3rd position.
Oh, no!
That was all very close to the spin. Sotiro goes for a spin. The Pro-Am leader at the time, left-handed turn at turn number 12. Just got up, I think just got a little bit loose and spins around into the inside wall.
Oh my goodness. What a, oh man, that was, yeah. That was just, I have to say, maybe a little bit of an unforced error there. He got it in there a little hot, I believe.
And Martin were briefly side by side there, by the way, but Dolan's been knocked back, and now Adrian Hatfield alongside. That's now the battle for the Pro-Am lead, by the way, that we'll try and keep an eye on here in this one. There they are, actually, side by side. Well, I wasn't expecting Hatfield to quite get alongside that quickly, but here he is on the way down towards turn number 6. Outside line, Dolan has retained the inside, and he will keep 5th place overall, but more importantly, the Pro-Am lead. Benson next in line, 7th position overall. What a start he's having. He's continuing to move through the field, but he's got 2 drivers not in his class just up in front of him.
Yeah, and that, of course that becomes a problem. I think sometimes those pro drivers get a little antsy when they get behind. Oh, he had a little loose wiggle there coming off the turn. They get a little nervous when they get behind these pro. Oh no, that's Sotiro again going around. Oh my goodness, man. What a rough night he's having from starting up on. Look at this battle up here at the front, would you? He is having a rough night.
Looked like there was even a bit of contact between McPhee and Frederick there, actually, on the way towards turn 12. And so whoever's in the lead certainly is not flying away and running away with this race. That is absolutely the case so far. 3 laps in, and as Hatfield now, speaking of leaders, at that time in the Pro-Am class,
oh, he's
he
going
drops
around.
Away. That's as well. They can guess what happened based on those time marks. Look at that.
Golly. Yeah, Dolan's up there now, running comfortably in the AM lead. Again, he's got Matt Benson behind him. I hope that he just realizes that's not necessarily his fight and lets Benson go before he gets a little, antsy and maybe causes some contact accidentally or something like that. And same thing's going on back here with behind him with Benson and and Curtis.
Friedrich and McPhee again side by side as well. Friedrich has just gotten alongside for the lead, and he looks like he's through. There's so much side by side going on.
Everywhere.
It's hard to know where to look at the moment. Friedrich has just about got his nose in front, but he's not fully in front just yet. You can see it on the bottom of your screen there. McPhee looking, side by side into the corner. Absolutely level on the way out. Forster and Martin are going to close in as a result. But can Friedrich now finally get clear ahead of Simon McPhee on the way towards turn 11? He can. That was all very close between those two, and they just about get themselves back into single file order again.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. There's the same kind of battling going on everywhere. Now he's under massive pressure from Forster behind. Forster's, he was all over him. Now Forster's got Lee Martin behind him, tearing him up.
Yeah, exactly. Forster's going to be looking behind him at Lee Martin, and that's side by side towards turn 1. Not quite. Martin wasn't quite alongside in time for the left-hander. Now down towards turn number 2. And on board with Simon McPhee here, who's going to try and come back at Cameron Friedrich, who just took that lead away from him on the previous lap. This has been very, very lively so far, as Dolan now from the lead in the Pro-Am class goes off. The lead of the Pro-Am class looks like a bit of a curse at the moment.
It is. I believe it is a curse right now. He's recovered and he's back going again. So now Curtis Matthews has got the lead in the Pro-Am class. What do we got? We're 7 minutes into this race right now with this crazy amount of action. Let's pop back up here. There's still plenty going on right up here. Got Martin.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Friedrich is just getting a little bit away from him. So that is helping him, and that will help as well. McPhee goes wide, and Forster gets alongside in time for the back straight now as they get back onto the oval. So briefly here on this circuit. Now then, in towards the fast left-hander. It's normally the inside that prevails in this committed sweeper to the left, and it is going to be Forster who holds on again. So despite that error, he is able to hold the inside line at least and keep second place, but look at how that is extending the lead now for Cameron Friedrich out front.
Yeah, he's starting to get away from him a little bit. I think with this track, though, and if they settle down and kind of find a position, they can draft back up to him, because these cars have a nice little draft to them, and there's certainly a couple of spots on this track where you can draw. Oh, look at this. Lee Martin just slid right on in there.
He did. Somewhat surprisingly, really. Double slipstream, and he got straight through. Inside line at turn 3 again, and he's got it. In the background, was that a car backwards, or am I seeing things? I think I must be seeing things. Dan Wareham's fine. He's still just in behind Benson.
Yeah, he's
for
in there.
5th position. Yeah. By the way, on the tower on the left-hand side, Connor Pink is a Pro-Am driver. Not sure we're going to be able to get that changed during the race, but just bear that in mind at home, that we've got all the pros followed by all the Pro-Ams. They're all nicely put into line now as McPhee just slips back through on that battle for 3rd place, just out of turn 6. Better exit, and he slips back through on Lee Martin, who got that position only 5 corners earlier.
So challenge accepted. I'm going to see if I can, if I actually can do that. We'll see.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
Well, I'm gonna sneak it in here when I got a little break in the action, which may not happen in this race the way things are going so far.
Absolutely, yeah. We're just coming up to the halfway stage now. It's going to be a 13-lap first race, I believe, based on the pace that we are running at the moment. We've just done 6 laps in just under 10 minutes there. So the first 5 minutes or so is a little bit slower than the next 5 minutes in the race, if you see what I mean, because of the start of the race getting up to speed from a standing start, which they obviously don't have to do again after the green flag waves for the first time. So
this must be Connor Pink's first time here racing this series.
Yeah, pretty sure it is. Yeah, pretty sure it is. Yeah. Yeah. He was chatting in YouTube chat a little bit earlier on about that. Yes, we'll keep an eye on Connor Pink as a Pro-Am driver, even though the colour's not there for the moment. We'll try and get that attached to the tower on the left-hand side in a couple of moments' time.
What's not there?
No, it's there now. It's fine. It's there. Connor Pink is in pink, although I think that still looks orange. So whatever.
You are colorblind.
Tell us what it looks like at home.
Yes,
I'm sure that's orange. Wareham, meanwhile, down the inside of Lee Martin. Oh, and Benson's... Oh, wow. Benson comes firing in there. Very nearly firing straight into the door of Lee Martin, who just loses the one place down to 5th.
Yeah, this is some fantastic battling right here. I love this Viking Valhalla paint scheme he's got going on with the chrome. Look, you can see the stands reflecting in the chrome. That is awesome.
A lot of chrome on this grid.
Yeah, a lot of chrome in here. Well, they ran a lot of chrome on their liveries when they were doing the OGRL Tanso thing. They had some chrome on there. Of course, OGRL had a lot of chrome as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a theme. I'm not making a complaint. It's just an observation.
Yeah, I know, right? I love the chrome myself.
That's wide. Sorry, wide from Wareham, and he just gets away with that there. Sometimes on this circuit, the reason why I maybe get overexcited sometimes about the run wide, sometimes the grass can really drag you out there for a very long time.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong about this, and of course we got all the drivers in. See, Sean Atkinson knows it's pink. This track to me, as I remember it, is one of those tracks that'll get you for off tracks because the slightest little variation off the track, usually, if I remember right, used to cost you an off track. I don't know if that's still the case or if I'm accurate about that, but I'm sure somebody will comment on that because it's easy to get off this track a little bit, especially with some of these sweeping turns through here. This track does have a nice mix, though. It has a nice mix of slow, like hairpin type corners, and obviously high-speed sweepers like this right here.
Well, bad news for me, by the way. Sean Atkinson said it's pink.
Yeah.
Big trouble. It's definitely that's definitely pink at the bottom. I'm not going to make any arguments with anyone about that. But on the tower, on the left-hand side, up on the tower, top left, I'm not sure that's pink. I'm just saying.
How big of a screen are you watching this on? 6-inch or 8-inch?
I don't know in inches. It's a laptop screen.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, so obviously not that big.
Yeah, maybe that isn't. I'll use that as my excuse if it
that's a good one.
Turn out to be pink.
Oh, it's pink. So pop up here and take a look at Connor real quick. He's not getting a lot of TV time because, he's got almost a 3-second lead, 2.5-second lead over Forrester and McPhee behind them. So you don't get a lot of TV time when you run away. You got to come back to the field if you want that, especially when you got look at this going on back here, would you?
Side by side between Dolan and Curtis Matthews, two previous race leaders of the Pro-Am class, and Michael Dolan on the inside for turn 6 should have this and does. Curtis Matthews goes a little bit wide around the outside of turn 6, and that's going to allow John Johnston to just catch up a little bit. Haven't seen much of John so far tonight, but with 6 minutes to go in the opening race, he now makes an appearance, looking for a podium place in the Pro-Am class here as they work their way down now towards turn 8. It's not going to happen this time, but he's taking a feature now in this Pro-Am race.
I thought he was sending it there for a second. Well, this explains why John didn't answer my message earlier, because he's out here racing instead. I do think we need to give Connor Pink a little TV time. He's snuck up there and got the lead of this amateur class on his first time out here. He's probably sandbagging. Who is that right there?
Oh, hello. So that's Sam McPhee, who's gone for a spin out of the final corner, and Connor Pink now moves up another overall position. Don't forget that when we reverse the grid here for race number 2, it's a top 12 reverse, but it's not based on your classes. You are taken as an overall system and then reversed. Simon McPhee, unfortunately, has had to tow back to pit lane as well, and now he's going to be down to 13th. So Satiro, who was a minute off the back of the field after making a pit stop after hitting the wall, as we saw earlier on.
Yeah, he's had a rough evening. Sorry.
Well, yeah. But was way off the back end of the pack, and surely with no chance of getting into the reverse grid. Now is in the top 12 and will be a part of the reverse grid.
Now he's sitting on the pole again for the second race, and he started on the pole for the first one.
Yeah. That doesn't happen very often. Well,
No.
it doesn't.
No, not usually.
No.
This is about what I thought was going to. You get little clumps of cars racing together. Although they have spread out a little bit more than you typically see in this. This is a nice little battle right here, though, between Wareham and Forrester.
This is a good battle for second place. It's pretty evenly matched. You don't get the... Oh, spin! Oh, wow, he saved it. Oh, I said it too soon. Wareham, I thought, was for sure going to go round, but he saves it through the chicane. He will lose some time and maybe even positions as well, because that was a big moment through turn 13, 14. Lee Martin's on the outside looking to come through, and does on the outside for turn 1, but for Wareham to even still be pointing in the right direction is a great job there, and he very nearly hits Martin there. He's going to really hound him now to try and get that podium back. Yeah,
well, that moment there, since it wasn't quite a spin like you said, but he saved it. But it couldn't have happened at really a worse spot. I mean, he's right heading onto that long back straightaway there, and that's a horrible time in these cars to break your momentum. But he hung on pretty well. He's right back here on the tail end of Martin and is trying to get his spot back. So he did manage to recover pretty decently from that.
Yeah, it really did. And I think he's still looking favourite to maybe finish on the podium here, Dan Wareham. Although he looks like he's got to slow down. He's pulled off to the side of the circuit.
Maybe
it looks like a slow down, that one. So back down to 5th place now, and the podium is going to be a little bit out of reach. He's got 2 more laps after this one to try and get it back again.
Yeah, let's see. Well, right in front of him, of course, this whole thing is a big 4-car train right here, really. And some of the best action on the track right now. Of course, Forrester's up there, and all of this going on behind him is giving him a chance to create a little gap in there. I mean, it's not a lot, but in these cars, every little bit counts. And I think, Benson and Martin and Wareham back here are going to end up battling and maybe allowing Forrester to get away a little bit. Although I think Lee Martin would have something to say about that.
He certainly would. He is close in behind now. And the 4 of them are pretty much back together again as they were last lap. That's a different line from Forrester, notably there from Martin. Good to see this on board here, to see how the 2 are taking their different lines through the first sector. Wareham gets close to Benson as well, certainly closer than Martin is able to get here. It's actually been a good run from Wareham by the looks of things on the way towards turn 6. So he's looking to gain these places again quickly because he wants that podium back, and he's going to get it because it's a spin from Forrester. He's defended so well from second position for so long. Wareham overtakes Benson legitimately, and Forrester goes for a spin. So now Wareham's up to 3rd, and what about 2nd maybe? Because Lee Martin's only just in front of him here. Benson's involved as well now in that 3rd place in the group, in towards turn 8, late on the brakes from Wareham on the inside line, and Dan Wareham's going to go from 5th place to 2nd in just 2/3 of a lap.
Wow, yeah, and Martin kind of, I think, was maybe doing a little mirror driving there, and maybe just missed his braking point a little bit and went a little wide, and that just allowed Wareham to drive it right on through there. This is
side by side, and Benson follows. So Wareham and Benson back on the podium. Lee Martin was so briefly on that top 3, but he now loses it as they see the white flag. Here's Forster recovering as Connor Pink goes side by side.
No.
Oh, it's contact with the Pro-Am leader, and that could have been terrible news for Connor Pink, who's got away with that one there, and I don't think he was given that much space on the outside, to be honest. Dan Forster spins to the outside, and he drops now behind Dolan in 6th position.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that could have went really bad for Connor there. I think there was probably a situation there. Forrester was probably driving pretty aggressive because he was frustrated at what had happened, and unfortunately, sometimes when it gets like that, it seems to snowball.
And yeah, drops now behind Curtis Matthews actually as well. I didn't say at the time. Hadfield is right in behind him. So Forster drops a long way back, unfortunately, with that spin. It is time elapsed though, and Cameron Frederick is looking like he's on his way to a race victory. He'll be coming up into the final sector in a few moments' time, but this has been pretty comfortable for the American.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a 5-second lead in these cars. That's massive, Of course, with all the action that's been going on behind him, he's had smooth sailing up there. Just got to just got to keep from overdriving it and having an unforced error. But yeah, he's had a nice little run at it here. We'll look back here real quick and see if we've got anything going on here. Looks like Benson's going to make one little stab at him here.
Not quite in towards the final corners. Cameron Frederick, though, onto the front straight, is going to win the opening race of the day here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It is Cameron Frederick who wins here in race number 1. He took a pole position one pole position last week, didn't convert that into a race victory. It wasn't pole this time round, but it was the race victory. In the Pro-Ams, it's going to be Connor Pink on debut to take a great victory in the opening race of the day as well. A race where the Pro-Am lead looked cursed at times. It certainly wasn't for Connor Pink at the end, and he takes his first ever race as a victory.
He does, yeah, and we got him in chat there, of course, and he swears he's not sandbagging since this is the first time he's driven these cars, But he also did... I'm giving him a hard time because he's always messing around in chat. And he also said there he said he got squeezed a little bit when his car touched the grass. He lost his braking, which makes sense. And he said he did apologize for that. Although from what I saw, I don't know that I saw anything that I would call his fault. I didn't think so. If anything, it was a racing incident or whatever, but I definitely didn't think it was his fault. So let's see if we can get the overall results for.
He's not finished yet.
Oh,
he's because we're on the replay, we can do it anytime. Forgot about that. Yes. So let's just try not to show the 82 results by accident, because otherwise that would be a bit.
I tried to make sure I was on the right thing. Of course, all the guys in chat right here got to know what's coming anyway. But oh well, I guess we skipped the warm up, huh?
No, we are in warm up now. So we've got 5 minutes or so to chat through the results and chat a little bit about race number 1. Cameron Frederick, though, has taken the victory by 4.7 seconds. As I say, his first victory of the season. And that is 3 different winners now in the Pro Class in our first 3 races. As I say, Wareham second. Benson in 3rd position. Matt Benson, that's his first podium of the season as well. Lee Martin finishes just about 6 tenths further behind me. Connor Pink winning in the Pro-Am class as well. It is 2nd place to Michael Dolan. He's also making his debut this season, at least, in the championship. Curtis Matthews next in line, scoring his first podium of the season as well. And then Dan Forster, who dropped down on the last lap, the penultimate lap, as we saw, down to 8th. John Johnston and Aidan Hadfield round out the top 10 with Jake DeGrand and Simon McPhee on the last row, and therefore the first row of the reverse grid. And then Igor Satiro, who will be the only driver not to benefit from the reverse grid, unfortunately.
So, Connor, since you're in chat and watching, and this thing is not on that much of a delay, if you want to jump real quick into the interview waiting room, we'll pull you in and have a little chat about race 1 real quick. I don't know if Cameron's in there watching as well. If you are, you're more than welcome to hop in. We've got about 3.5 minutes or so. We could get a little quick interview in with one of you, just to, have a little fun here since we're doing it this way. So, yeah, great, phenomenal racing action. I love these little cars. I love this series. These guys have a lot of fun. They race hard. When they did that OGRL Tanso thing, man, these Tanso guys were tearing it up. The field seems a little small today. I would guess that maybe that's because, we just had the Nürburgring 24-hour Nordschleife race this weekend. Sure, a lot of guys did that. I know Sean Atkinson is not racing today because he ran the 24. So, I think, but this is a phenomenal series, and we need to, shout out to them and get some more guys out here. They do a lot of good things in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, Sean Atkinson very much saying earlier on that, it is more numbers. On other days, for example, first round of the championship, we had 16 in the field, and you can only assume that that will grow again. As you said, the Nürburgring 24 hours very much taking over everyone's thinking here this time around.
Hey, Connor, you do realize that I'm old, right? You say. Yeah. If you could get in, I may pass away before you get there. At this rate, we've got about 2 minutes left. So if you make it, we can have a wee bit of a chat, or as James would say, a chin wag.
Yes.
Yeah, he's. Oh, there's Cameron Frederick. Oh, he's at dinner right now. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully
Still
you're
watching though.
With your lovely wife or girlfriend or something, and yeah. But he is. Yeah, he's still watching. She
Still
must
watching.
be.
Anyway,
If he. Oh, there he is. Let's pull him in real quick.
Let's bring Connor in just for a minute or so, just to have a chat. Welcome in, Connor. Good to speak to you. Good to hear from you. Let's just talk a little bit about race one first of all. I know you know what's coming in race two, but obviously you'll have to keep the suspense for us. Tell us about race one though. First of all, you're taking your debut win in this series. Oh, hello, Connor. Can we hear you? We might have to leave this till the end of the race. Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah. How you doing?
There we go. We can hear you now. Thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us. Just quickly, for in about a minute or so, we'll bring you in again if you want after race two as well. For when we've got actually a bit more time. But in a minute or so, how was race one for you, and how did it feel to take your debut win in this series?
Yeah, really good. It was a bit different to GT3s that I'm used to driving, but yeah, it was a bit more spicy out there than the GT3 races I've done, which was really good fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's the point of these cars, though. That's what it's all about. When you take more experienced guys and you put them in these cars, it's about getting out there, door banging a little bit, having fun, right?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, that incident at the end with Dan was just unfortunate. I got squeezed onto the grass, and then just kind of the car didn't stop as I was expecting it to. I was half on the grass, half not on the grass, and it was just all over the place. So, yeah, interesting.
All right, man. Well, look, we're gonna pop in here. They're fixing to grid up here for the race, I believe. Although it says it's finishing up. Yeah, we'll chat with you a little more after. But I just wanted to mess with you since you were in chat.
Yeah. Thank you for getting my color sorted as well.
Yeah, I got you fixed up. I got your pink on for you.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thank you.
Cheers.
See you guys.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Is Colin Pink chatting to us halfway through. So the top 12 reverse. Oh, it has been Igor Sotero who's got up towards the front. I'm not sure. This does happen with race twos. You won't know this, Jim. I should have warned you before. The grid does go wonky.
Oh, it does. Okay.
You won't be able to show that again. I forgot to tell you that.
Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll go to the results and we'll just read them in reverse. How's that?
Yeah, I just have read them the other way around, so we'll just show them again there for race number one. That is how it ended for race number one. Tip that on its head for the top 12 anyway. And yeah, that's what we've got for our grid in race number two. It looks like the drivers are all just about ready to go, though. They're all just about onto the grid, ready to set off, and they are indeed. So the lights will be coming on here in a few moments' time. And the second race here from Homestead Miami Speedway in this GR86 series will get underway. And here we go from the Speedway and onto the green flag. We are racing again with the top 12 reverse grid race, the 25-minute second race here in this championship. Down through turn number one, flat out as always. Then into turn two, where things get a lot more spicy. Everybody looking to get through these opening corners without major problems. And it looks like, certainly at the front of the field, that has been achieved. In fact, the whole way through the field, through this first sector, again, 2 clean starts this evening. That is very good going. Oh, very nearly ruined at the very end. But at the end of the first sector, 2 very clean starts. Very well done to everybody.
Yeah, this is he's running wide there. I guess that was Michael Dolan, I believe. Go ahead and keep the bit up here and that sorted out. Yeah, 2 good starts. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, and that's seems like a turn one that could cause some grief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and certainly a first sector that can cause some trouble, but not for these guys. There's certainly been some drivers who've moved forward in this opening lap of the race, that's for sure, and some who have made less good progress so far. Satira's still at the back, for example. Dad Wareham's flying through here. There he is, going past John Johnston down into turn 11. Oh, they're going to try and follow through as well. Look at the speed here for Frederick as he tries to follow through this contact with Johnston, who spins, and he twitches the other way round, spins, and he will drop to the back end of the field. I don't think he was collected by anybody, as far as I can see. And so he just drops to 13th with a spin, but that was a real shame. Frederick was being aggressive coming through. In the end, there was a little bit of contact by the looks of things, and John Johnston, the one who goes around.
So, well, interestingly enough, I do have the somewhat option to look at some of the instances in this particular race if there's something that pops up that you want to see.
Frederick and de Grand just spun round.
Jake is,
no idea why. Yeah, so de Grand full the way around. Frederick just loses a lot of time and speed, and he might even have damage here. Or has Wareham got damage? No, it's Wareham who's got damage. Look at the crabbing there. Even from this camera angle that's not quite dead on with that straight towards turn 6, you can see you don't even have to have a good camera angle to see that car is not pointing in the right direction at all.
Oh no, look at that wheel. Holy cow. Let's go to the cockpit instead. Oh my goodness. Look at this damage.
He's almost turning right for that hairpin. Oh, and there's a spin for Lee Martin as well.
Yeah, that was Martin. Wow, yeah. His wheel is jacked up. Man.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's going to require some, I don't know, I can't see how you could drive it like that for too long without wrecking it.
Well, he's going to be into pit lane, I think, is going to be the secret there. So there's going to be a fast repair taken on there. Each driver does get one fast repair for each race, so that will be used to keep them in the race at least to a degree, but the trip through the pit lane itself is going to cost quite a lot of time, especially around this circuit, by the way. It's a very long pit lane. As you can see from John Johnston there, his trip through the pit lane cost him effectively a lap. He's a lap down now on the rest of the pack.
Look at this battle right here with Curtis Martin and Benson and Cameron Frederick, who has dropped back there, and I'm sure he's trying to aggressively get back up front.
Oh! That's a squeeze. Benson there trying to squeeze himself between the grass there and Curtis Matthews, and here comes Frederick. Does he make it 3 wide? No, not quite on this occasion. Down on the brakes towards turn 6. He still can't get anywhere here, Frederick, with the two going side by side in front and his unwillingness to go 3 wide. He's just stuck in this position here, not able to get anywhere in this battle.
Benson's got to be careful. He's going to end up here in an OGRL sandwich between Matthews and Frederick here. Oh, look at him stick it down on the inside right there. Frederick, holy cow, that was a nice move. Well,
Satiro arriving quickly as well.
He is. Well, they're battling hard, so yes, Satiro's coming hard at him. We'll pop back up here at the front though, real quick. It looks like we might have a little action building up here.
Yeah, battle for the lead perhaps between McPhee, Hatfield, Forster and Dolan. 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this race at the moment. There goes Benson past Connor Pink for that 5th position. It's hard to know where to look here in this race. In the background, look at that, 2 wide. There's a look here from Forster as well. It is all happening out there at the moment. A little bit of punt drafting even on the way down towards turn number 1 here. Look at this. Curtis Matthews, the one goes through. A little bit of contact with
wide.
Frederick that might have been there. And Matthews goes wide off into the grass. He spins. Oh, back in front of the pack. He goes into the fence. And Connor Pink was slightly collected there as well.
Yeah, if that was Pink that hit him, that had to cause some damage to Connor. Lynn Turner commented that we remembered initials this week. That's because I'm running the buttons this week, Lynn, not James. I had your initials up there for you, no problem. I've witnessed him get in trouble for that over and over again, so I wanted to make sure that I had that covered for you. Wow. So, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, he's not here.
Yeah,
he's off road tripping. So was that? I don't think that was Connor that hit him. I'm not going to jump back to it because we'd have to watch from there. I don't want to do that, but yeah, Yeah, wow. I don't know. Look at this stuff up here, though. It's everywhere. There's action everywhere.
It's just got a little bit quieter for 5th place for the moment because of that incident and because of the sorting out that we saw in the last couple of moments. But look at this for the lead, the front 4 here. Dolan right in behind Hadfield as he tries to come through on the way towards turn number 1. He's in the slipstream, but he's not going to get anywhere that time round. Has a little look down the inside. Now down in towards turn number 2. Whoa, a bit late on the brakes there from Hadfield and off into the grass. And there goes Dolan. He wasn't going to let that opportunity pass him by. And Dolan slips straight through. That is for the Pro-Am lead, don't forget.
Yeah, he got him there. That was, he just swung a little bit wide, and that's all it took.
So can Dolan maybe even challenge the top 2 here? McPhee and Forster have been up towards the front from the very beginning. Not sure where Forster started this race, actually. He started about 4th, 5th, something like that. And he's, immediately got up into these podium places. And now he's challenging McPhee very, very closely indeed. Down towards turn number 8.
Oh,
he has
nice
a look
run
at the
here.
inside.
Nice run.
Very late on the brakes, in fact. He's given the room by McPhee, in fairness. And Forster does get to the lead now after 7.5 minutes.
Yeah. Simon gave him plenty of room there. That was nice. And I don't know if he did that to be courteous or to make sure that he didn't get taken out. Live to fight another day, And here he comes. Speaking of that.
Maybe it was just to stay out of the way. He certainly wasn't being too kind there on the way towards turn 11. He wants that position back again in towards 13 and 14. This chicane before the the front straight, sorry. I've got to say, I've really enjoyed the racing here so far.
I know, right?
Always
stuff.
Always contentious at going to a roval. Sorry, keep saying oval. A roval like this that certainly is a bit clunky to drive and looks a bit weird on the track map as well. But this has been fantastic stuff so far. Maybe more of a compliment to the GR86s than the track itself, but nevertheless, it's been good racing so far.
I would agree with that 100%. That I'm not a big roval fan. Daytona obviously has its prestige because of the events that are held there and stuff. But I'm just not a roval fan for the most part. They're just okay in my opinion, but it's been good racing. But I think you could put these cars on any track and they would probably race well together.
Yep, and we are certainly going to over the course of the next few weeks. Oschersleben is coming up next week. Oran Park the week after that. Very much looking forward to that, by the way. 2 weeks' time, Oran Park. Monza combined with no chicanes is the week after that with Sonoma Short on July 6th. Monza combined with no chicanes is going to be absolute pandemonium.
That's going to be awesome.
But do note, of course, that the last 3 of those may be subject to change, as those are yet to be official. At least a month ago, they were yet to be official from the 22nd of June. So they may be subject to change. Obviously, there's a new iRacing season coming up very soon. But that was a month ago now, and they haven't changed, as far as I'm aware, since then. So I think that is going to be a final track list for the end of this season. Yeah, Monza combined with no chicane certainly sticks out to me in that one.
Yes. I'll tell you what, that sounds at first thought that always sounds like a disaster, right? I've done 2 races from there this season, in fact, and different series, and it's actually been fantastic. It where you would think that oval would just cause all kinds of grief and stuff, and it really hasn't been the oval that was a problem. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Well, still plenty of racing to be had here at Homestead before the night is out, that's for sure. Battle for the lead between Forster, McPhee and Dolan, first of all. Then there's Friedrich and Benson in the top 5. And then Sotero and Pink, who are battling for 7th place as well. It's all happening out there on the circuit. Just over 10 minutes gone. Just less than 15 minutes to go in this second race of the day. The reverse grid race that so often provides so much drama, and we're seeing it again here at Homestead.
Yes, indeed. Connor did comment there that his little incident earlier did cause him a little damage, so he's not quite on the pace he was on. Still running hard out there, but these cars get a little way. I wonder if his steering wheel's jacked up. I always like to see him driving with the crazy. Now he's good steering wheel. I mean, that still could be plenty of damage, but just at least it's not his front end. But yeah, I love watching coming in the car to find out if guys have damage. And I tell you what, they're still spicing it up here for the lead.
And towards turn 1 and 2 again. McPhee, pressure on, but constantly just a little bit wider through turn 2 there. And Forster is able to hang on as a result. Dolan just sort of sat there. He's the Pro-Am leader, don't forget. Doesn't actually have to make any more overtakes here, Dolan, but he's in with a shout of an overall win at this rate.
I mean, he is, but the problem with him being the Pro-Am leader is this right here. He's got he's got his close competition right behind him that's still trying to run him down. It's not like he's walking away with it, so he's still got to be these guys are holding him up somehow, but of course he's running third, which, by the way, this is a great I've seen Dolan race in this series. I've done some stuff with him in the GT3s. This is a good run for him. I want to give him his props for that. He's having a strong run tonight in the car at this track. This combination must suit him well. It's good for him,
Yeah. It's just about the halfway stage now, by the way. 16 laps in this second race of the day, 25 minutes. It's an extra 3 compared to what we had in the first 20-minute race earlier today. But look at Dolan there, super close through the final chicanes now, onto the front straight. 2 tenths, the gap less than 2 tenths actually, as they now come over the line. Here comes Dolan surely with a look to the inside. Is there going to be an opportunity now maybe for him to go through here? Looks to the outside. Oh, where's he going to go? Oh, he can't go outside there. It just isn't the space. And that does make it a little bit easier to defend around this circuit, in fairness. The narrowness of the circuit you can use to your advantage on occasion.
I would say there that he clearly chose not to send it right there. He wasn't ready for that to be the spot, because he could have swung it down on the inside there. I think he's just waiting. At this point, he may be just applying pressure and just see if he can force a mistake where he doesn't really have to work, as hard to take that position. He's got time.
Well, he's going to use it now by the looks of things into turn 8. No, not quite again. Just had a peek there, but
yeah, I think he's just showing him. I think he's just showing him his nose and trying to make Simon drive out of his mirror a little bit. And next thing you know, he misses a breaking point and runs a little wide, and Dolan just turns it down underneath him. I think at this point that's what he's trying to do, which it works on me. I have to say, when somebody's in my mirror like that, I usually end up making a little boo-boo somewhere along the way there.
So these 3 continue for the lead. Just over 10 minutes to go. And that's a decent run for McPhee actually this time round. So
it is. And again, Michael Dolan, man, Pro-Am, running great up here. I mean, literally, putting the heat on second place, and right there, right off the lead. What a fantastic run.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Hey, apparently Connor Pink is somewhat of a like Nostradamus or something. He's a prognosticator. He said check his steering in about 5 minutes. Like he has an idea something's coming. Who knows?
Looks like he did this race.
Right? It's deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra used to. Well, it looks like Jake DeGrand had a little incident. Oh, sorry. Looks like Jake had a little incident and had to jump to pits.
Yep.
Oh, Johnson too. Yeah, Johnson. But Johnson's having a bit of trouble back there as well.
Yeah, Dolan very nearly hit McPhee there on the screen quite late on the brakes in towards turn number 8. Very nearly rear-ended him actually. But Dolan's just got to remember where he is in class, and that is, of course, in the lead of this race out front. So he's got to be mindful of that, not to get too caught up in this. Oh, wow, he very nearly did, though. I think it might have just been the camera angle. Maybe it wasn't quite as close as it looked, but
he put it on. He took it on 2 wheels. So I mean, he hit that curb pretty hard. I would suspect that he did not mean to take that curb quite that tough.
No.
Look, he's coming hard here. Look, charge on the inside right there.
Now, he's spoken a bit too early there, but McPhee's been consistently very late, sometimes too late, but not that time. Holds on round the outside for second place. That was good defending there from McPhee again. Frederick, meanwhile, just gets past Adrian Hatfield for fourth place. His run through the field, I would say, is probably complete now. Fourth might be all he can get from this race.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some heavy action. Oh no, Dolan! That's gonna get him a couple seconds back. Yeah, that hurt. Though I was about to say, you get some close battling up front. These guys could have a little contact or slow each other down and bring Frederick into the mix, and all of a sudden Frederick just got brought 2 seconds closer to third place. He's just right there now. I do kind of hate that we lost that little three-way battle we had going on up front.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but these things are bound to happen, I suppose. Benson gets down the inside of Hadfield and goes through. So he's up now to the top 5, not far behind Frederick, who is in that fourth position. Just
I tell you what, that transition at this track is brutal.
Yeah.
The transition from the Roval back to the oval part right there. I mean, it really is horrible. Next time we go around, we'll take a good look at it. But it's just brutal. I mean, I remember that was my reaction, especially in a GTP car, because those cars don't have a lot of suspension travel, and it was violent, man. It's just not really meant for that. Look at this right here. McPhee trying to take it on the... Oh, swung it wide, but now he's going to come back on the inside.
Can he get this done down in towards turn 8, maybe? It's a good chance down here. And Forster realises this is late on in the race, and it's worth the defence now. Worth the defensive line. Outside for McPhee into turn 8, and he's going to go for the cutback line here, but he's just got that a little bit wrong. He's got a little bit too wide there, and I'm not sure the exit is quite worth the payoff there.
Yeah, I don't think... I think that, well, I guess we'll chalk that... He'll probably chalk that one up to a learning experience and maybe take a different approach next time there. That one didn't work out like he hoped. But he didn't really lose any time to him, so he's all right. He's still right in the mix. Here's going to be a great view of this transition right here. Look at this. I mean, it's violent, man.
Yeah, super violent onto the banking, and well, it's how you've got to run this circuit. 4 laps to go as you go over the line now. Forster versus McPhee for the lead of the race in the Pro class, and indeed overall. These two have been locked together for nearly 20 minutes now. All things are looking like it's going to be locked together for the remainder of this race as well.
It does indeed. I'm going to jump back here real quick. Get this going on too. I'm going to give it a second or two here and see what happens, but I'm obviously watching that lead battle really close up there. If anything looks like it's happening, I'll get back to that. But Benson is just all over Frederick now. And it looks like they're catching Dolan after his little sideways excursion he had there. And he's clearly lost touch with McPhee. McPhee's almost 3 seconds up the road from him now. In fact, he's trying to make it happen here.
Let's see. This is a good run out of turn number 8. And onto the back straight now, onto the oval. There's a decent chance for McPhee's on the outside line here, though. This is going to be a struggle all the way around the outside. Can he swoop back to the inside, though, maybe in time for turn 12? Not really. Forced to cut the inside quite keenly there. Wonder whether that's going to give him a slowdown penalty. Hopefully not, as he comes onto the front straight here. Well, he doesn't pull over, so he hasn't got a slowdown. He's okay, and he will keep the lead. 3 laps to go. 3 more laps of defending for him.
So apparently Connor, with his Nostradamus-like predictions, it did come true. Apparently he has crashed and apparently now does have steering problems. If we get a chance, we'll pop in and take a look at that. But this action on track is just so good right now. We've got this battle for the lead up here. I mean, like you said, they've been attached for 14 laps, pretty much. What a battle.
Yeah, it's been constant. There's not a 4-car battle in the background, by the way, that you're missing. It's just a bit of lap traffic in amongst some of the battles for third place. So this is by far the closer one. Although Benson's
that
close
is a
to
battle.
Frederick. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a battle right there. Sun's getting low and bright. Welcome to Miami, Florida.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So here's one for you. You know, you and I always share these kind of things, and then you end up having to Google them. So this is Miami Homestead. The track is actually located in Homestead, which is a suburb of Miami. Benson goes around.
Benson.
Right on the transition, too.
I think he did it by hitting Frederick, actually. Just
Did
a little
he?
bit of a bizarre thing sometimes in racing. If you just graze the back of the car in front of you, it spins you around effectively. I didn't think Hatfield would actually gain a place as a result. It's only a half spin, but now he's right there for 5th position.
Wow. Yeah, he is. Got this going on too now. Frederick is all over Dolan now. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Dolan doesn't really need to fight this. I mean, I know you want to finish 3rd overall, and he's having a hell of a run. But your first place, and you've got a little bit of a cushion there. I don't know that you want to throw that away.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he might well just put the white flag up now and just let him through. Frederick. Oh, well, not quite decisively.
Not yet.
Side by side, really close. He squeezed himself down a very small gap there, did Dolan. And he now finally has to give that one up to Frederick. So that's over for now. Although chuck back in the slipstream and he'll come back again here.
I think he's going to try to make a little run here. Let's see if he dives it down to the inside or not. Oh, well.
Not quite.
Frederick made sure there was no inside line there. Oh, I thought he was.
Oh. He had a peek, but he
peek.
didn't go for it quite. And now the white flag's going to wave. 1 minute to go. They're not going to get any more than just this one next lap in here. So Foster versus McPhee for the lead and Frederick versus Dolan for 3rd place. It looks like it's going to remain to the end of this race. Lap 16, the final lap now begins.
Well, if Simon's going to do anything, he's going to need to do it right here. Right on board with him and see if he is going to make something happen here.
Yeah, on board. He's in the slipstream now of Forster on the way down in towards the hairpin. Small bit of a defensive line from Forster there on the inside. Feet. Has to get a bit closer than this, and I fear for him that the best overtaking opportunity is already behind him at turn 6, and I don't think he's close enough down here at turn 8 either.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna jump back real quick here. It's because this looks like it might be developing right here. Back. The other one is kind of cooled off. They're almost a second apart now.
So McPhee not able to actually get the run off of turn 8 that he really needed there. I think he focused so much on getting that late braking that he actually didn't get the exit that he needed. Dolan close again to Frederick as we can see. Is there going to be a move into turn 12? No, not by the looks of things. And so Frederick looks like he's going to get a double podium, but it's going to be Forster who takes race 2 victory here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Sam McPhee finishes in 2nd position. And Cameron Frederick, as I say, gets a double podium. Dolan, meanwhile, finishing 4th overall, flashes his lights because it is a Pro-Am victory for Dolan.
Man, congratulations to those guys. Again, heck of a run for Dolan. Love to see that. Yeah, unfortunate for our race 1 winner, Connor. Apparently he he had some issues there. Maybe he wasn't sandbagging. Just kidding. It's a hard time. Man, that was some fun racing, though. I mean, we literally had battles up and down the field the whole race. You come down, you got first and second or less than a quarter of a second apart most of that last couple of laps. Same thing with, was it fourth and fifth? I think we were, I mean, I just our third and fourth. Incredible. Good stuff. Are we?
Absolutely. Well, the battles are certainly done. Curtis Matthews and John Johnson a lap apart, coming over the line at the moment. There on the screen went John Johnson.
I can show it anyway because it's we're in replay mode.
Yeah, perfect. So there's the second race results. Dan Forster holds off Simon McPhee in the end from Cameron Frederick, who gets 2 podiums. As I say, Michael Dolan wins in the prime class with Matt Benson rounding out the top 5. Adrian Hadfield finishes second in AM, followed by Igor Sotero, who rounds off that podium. Lee Martin, Daniel Wareham and Curtis Matthews round up the top 10, with Connor Pink and John Johnson ending up 1 lap down. Jake DeGrand, unfortunately, finishing 8 laps down after that one. So that's just about it from Homestead Miami Speedway. As we said, Jim, good racing, but a lot of their credit has to go to the GR86 for that. Always provides great racing, as we know, and no different here tonight in Florida.
No, I agree. I think the car does get a lot of credit for making this track a little more exciting than I feel like it has been in the past. And also, big props to this group of guys. This is, again, there was some good racing there. Pretty clean racing. I mean, they respectfully, things happen, but they drive each other pretty respectfully overall, and it's good fun, man. These guys it's a great league. They've got a couple of great leagues if you're looking for for a home in this kind of time slots. They do tomorrow. They do GT3s, very popular series. Big grids, cars, good stuff, and this is usually a little bigger. Again, I think the 24-hour Nürburgring killed this weekend a little bit, but yeah, good stuff overall. I enjoyed everything. Enjoyed working with you, even though it was kind of a scramble. We managed to pull it off, and again, we apologize for any us being a little late today, but I think overall it turned out to be pretty good, pretty fun having the guys in the chat and everything. Yeah,
absolutely. Good to have everybody watching along at home, excuse me. But that is just about it from us here from Homestead Miami Speedway. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. Nevertheless, we'll be back next week with the next round of this series in the GR86 series, of course. And as you mentioned, still plenty of other racing that goes on from this league throughout the week. So make sure you check that out. The relevant links to the Tanso Discord are in the description down below. But that's all from Homestead Miami Speedway. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Jen Cunningham, and until we see you next time for the next round of the Only Hands GR86 series, here it is goodbye for now.